Day begins in Daku with the arrival of the morning school boat. The children live on outlying islands in the Rewa River Delta. Lessons will begin soon. A drum beat signals the start of school. Today's lesson plan includes civics.
Don't wait for others to do something for you. Think instead about how you can be useful to the community. Otherwise, you're as silly as breadfruit.
Community is important here in Daku, a tiny village in the southeast of Fiji's main island, Viti Levu. The 400-some villages have a common problem. It has become nearly impossible to grow anything here as a result of climate change.
The river rises on a regular basis and floods half the village. That's why our houses are on stilts. The brackish water rises from below. We can't plant vegetables because everything dies right away. It's become more extreme over the past 8 years. Recently, a dam was built to protect the village. It was paid for with government and international aid. Without it, we might have been forced to move away. We want to save the village for our children and grandchildren.
But how can the village sustain itself? The women of Daku have found an answer and simultaneously sparked a revolution. For generations, they've been weaving fans out of palm fronds. Their technique is a well-kept secret.
It's something sacred, a privilege that was granted to us by Vunivalu, Fiji's first king. We weren't ever allowed to sell the fans. But now, with climate change and the economic problems, our men requested permission from the king. And for the past few years, we've been allowed to sell them.
The fans are sold for about €3 each and now account for nearly 70% of Daku's income. Financially, the men of Daku are now almost completely dependent on the women. It's a major change in their lives. Until recently, women and younger villagers had little say. The Fiji Islands are still largely a male-dominated society. That's abundantly clear at the Sevu Sevu ceremony. Only men get to drink the coveted kava root grog. It's bitter, numbs the mouth, and is considered a real delicacy. The drink is also said to be healthy. The Woven Fan initiative hasn't led to greater social upheaval in the village, thanks to a gender equality training program financed with German funding. Villagers attended workshops where they learned that they could solve their economic problems better if the men and women worked together as equals. The women's representative tries to ensure that the lesson isn't forgotten. But not everyone in the village is happy when the bastions of male dominance are threatened. The school manager, a respected member of the community, airs his complaints.
For me, gender has nothing to do with equality. The man should make the decisions, not the woman. We know that from the Bible. The woman should obey and serve the man. That's the natural God-given order, and that shouldn't change.
The men here have fished in the Rewa River Delta for generations. These mangrove swamps were once swarming with fish and shrimp. But in many areas, deforestation has led to riverbank erosion. The water contains more sediment. The silt clogs the mangroves and destroys the fish breeding places. The fishermen see the effects every time they take their boats out. The catch in the fish traps is meagre. So the men now regularly make trips to the fertile island of Kalili to collect palm leaves for the fans. Everything that grows here is considered common property.
I bring coconuts to eat back from the plantation and branches that are used to make the fans. That's become our most important source of income.
It's a well-organised supply system that gives the men of Daku the opportunity to contribute to the village's success. They also help boil the fronds from the coconut palms.
As husband of the women's representative, it's my job to support my wife. I see to the firewood and the water, and I'm very proud that she has this important position.
I'm glad you recognize my work.
Such examples of mutual respect are not to be taken for granted in Fiji. Meanwhile, in Daku, the villagers have gathered for a celebration. The highlight is the Miki dance. Faces and bodies are blackened with charcoal. Here, at least, the young men of the village can carry on male traditions, just like they did 100 years ago.